I think
Go ahead, Agustina.
I can start. So,
Okay, yeah, go.
hello, Monica, and hello, everyone. So we represent a very, very fresh startup, which will design and manufacture outside leisure multifunctional items for outside leisure, especially for going to the seaside. We're going to manufacture multifunctional bags plus rugs made from the recycled old fishing nets or ocean plastics. So this is what we are going to do.
And something about yourself, Yeva.
Hey, and myself, I am an associate professor at ISM University, so this is my background. Okay. And we are two friends. We call ourselves Sea Friends, and our brand will be Mara Amico, which is in Esperanto Sea Friend. And we established a company, Jūros draugas, the same meaning. And my colleague, another co-founder, she's a professional in marketing. So this is it. Very short story so far.
Great. Good to know your background, because it's very interesting, because you meet founders from very different backgrounds that come together, from two developers to professors and developers. So it's very interesting for me also to understand your background.
Okay,
thank you for sharing. Augustinas, I see your raised hand. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you. I'm Augustinas. My business aims to improve the work of bookkeepers and accountants. So that's the elevator pitch. And fact about me is that I used to be an accountant. Now I'm a software developer, and I have a 2-year-old. So that sums up my life pretty well.
Very clear. What about your team? You're one-man show for now, or yeah? Okay. Good. Thank you. Who's next? Darius, go ahead.
Hi, Monica. So I'm developing software which allows to personalize stuff for any kind of physical and online products based with augmented reality. No application needed. So probably that's it for the moment, because when we had one-on-one, I will show you a sample and introduce you more into this.
Okay.
So, and I have in the team a CTO who is working usually with the startups, with the banks, and raising them from 0 to hero, and he's building the systems. So my part is to understand and to think about the future of the product, and he's working in how it will work as a platform from technical part.
Great. Thanks. Who's next? Martinez, go ahead.
Yeah, so hey, my name is Martinez, and I'm working with me and my friends, we are working with Moksliukas. Moksliukas is an application that's designed for students to prepare for exams. And yeah, and I'm the front-end developer, and my friend is back-end developer. So we're best friends, and yeah, so we decided that we should create something, and after that, yeah, we're working with that. So application is already live, so it's people can access it, but that's all.
Okay, very interesting. All right, Jonas is next. Thank you.
Hello. Right now, I'm here with Ignas Kancevičius, my colleague, and we are creating a project which is various sickness diagnostic tool. So basically what it is a device that is capable to record human body sounds, and then with artificial intelligence, those sounds analyze it and tell if that sound has some kind of sickness symptom or something else. Our backgrounds is that we are both finished product design in Vilnius Academy of Arts, and right now we are like 2, but we expanded our team where we have 2 more people where they are making graphic design, UI, UX, graphical identity, and right now we have 1 medical student from Vilnius University and various other collab from other institutes.
Thank you, Jonas. I see Armina raise hand.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Monica. We are based in Romania, actually, so we are one of the reasons why you can't do this in Lithuanian. I'm sorry, I'm sorry for this.
Oh, no worries. I prefer it in English, trust me.
Okay, perfect then. I've been working in HR for the past, I think, 7 to 8 years. I do consultancy on company culture and engagement. And our startup is called Rookies. And what we aim to do is to translate company culture and job titles in a way that young people can actually understand what they're about and how those jobs fit with their skills and their career plans. That's in a nutshell. And I have 2 partners who are very young, in their 20s, so we're walking the talk peer to peer.
Okay, very interesting. Thank you. Would be fascinating to understand your business model as well.
Tomorrow,
we'll talk about it later. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, Tadas is next.
Yes, hi, Monica. So I represent Korepetitus. So it's a 2-sided marketplace where everyone basically will find a tutor in accordance with one's requests, and tutors find new clients. We also create a community for students. So we have activities going outside the regular classes. And why we are different, all our tutors are students, and they are all interviewed and they are all trained. So I'm, one founder, and I have employees in my team. And the main aim of this program is to prepare to look for investors, actually, to scale it and go outside of Lithuania.
Okay, that's a great goal.
Thank you.
All right, thanks for sharing. Okay, Simonas is next.
Hi, me and my friends Matas and Dominikas represent Vux Technologies. And we are trying to reimagine of how industrial programmable logic controllers work. So they are more fun to program, they are easier to program, and less training is required. So I'm an electronics engineer by education, manager by profession, and I think a developer in my heart.
Very good mix. Very good mix. Thank you for sharing. I think I remember your presentation as well. It was very customized, long-lasting impressions. Who's next? Lucas.
Okay, hi. So I represent the engines team together with Hostea. So our basic idea is actually to diagnose the Alzheimer's disease in early years of your life, and to know if you have the possibility to get the sickness later on your lifetime. So I'm currently working in IT. I'm studying transport engineering, and will be responsible for business side, because basic jobs which I had in the past were basically with sales, with people, or entering new products into the market. So it's a really interesting mix.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. I see Ignas is next. We cannot hear you, Ignas.
Yes, hello everybody. So I have an innovation in basketball game through the app. It's a one-on-one basketball players community where you improve your playing skills, easy finding a ranked player or tournament to compete at any time near you. In case of winning scenario, earning some crypto tokens. I'm currently working in sport industry and real estate development, and I like that everything will be done to the end, and it would be great if it would be done yesterday.
Right. Okay. That's a great attitude to have. Thank you. Elena?
Yes, hello, Monica. I represent Team Oli. So there are 2 people in my team, and we are developing a system to exchange feedback so that companies could receive, customers' feedback instantly in minutes and improve customer experience. I am specializing in user experience design and research, and my partner Algirdas, he's a IT system architect, and he's an IT project manager. And our goal here is basically to build an MVP, establish a business model, and start making revenue.
Okay, very interesting. Great. I saw Agle raise her hand.
Yes, hi. Hi, everyone. I came here with the local kiddo startup. It's a community for families to buy, sell, and give away secondhand kid stuff with a network of parcel machines. But surprise, surprise, I decided to stop doing it and go for a new idea. And right now I have a brand fresh idea that is only 1 week old, baby. It's personalized letters for kids worldwide, solving various problems that arise in the families. So yeah, my background comes from communications. I worked in media for 10 years. Later on, I moved on building online communities. I have built 3 successful online communities. And I think that's my passion, and that's what I can do. And I have a huge know-how in families, life, in kids stuff, and a little bit in the psychology. Yeah, that's about me.
Fascinating. We all go to ask Agle if she can help us build communities. This is one of the huge lead generation tools nowadays, very popular. So seek advice with Agle.
Pretty hard to monetize unless you have a good idea what to sell and how to sell.
Right. Okay. Very interesting. So we can combine our skills. So this exercise is also to understand definitely what we can offer to each other as a community, right? Because we are in a community. We randomly united into this accelerator program, but please talk to each other and see, because everyone, as far as I'm concerned, the way I see, every one of us has strengths and weaknesses. We can help each other up and build each other up as well by sharing our experiences and sharing what we do best, because when it's something that we do best, we just take it for granted. For another person, it might be, it might be really cool to know how you do it and actually use it for their own business. So exchange ideas and talk to each other. Artemas, I saw your raised hand as well. Go ahead.
Hi, Monica. In Rome, they would call me Artemio.
Probably, yes.
I know that. So I represent Teachshapers. I'm coming from the health education and training business. We shape a specific fully digitalized AI-based software to help those teens who have obesity or overweight to change their lifestyle. So we are in this activity for the past 7 years. We mostly do it offline, so we have a challenge now to create something digital. I have a background in sport economics and online training. And as told, I'm the only one-man show for the now.
Okay. Okay. Great. Thank you for sharing. Is there anyone left that we haven't talked about? Does everyone know what Resti and Rukmal do? I'm taking it as a no, which means that we need to present ourselves, right? Karina, would you like to do that for Rukmal?
Yes, sure. So at Rukmal, we are eliminating back pain from long sitting periods by making every table that you have at home height adjustable. And we do that with a kind of a shoe you can put at the bottom, and then every table becomes electronically height adjustable. And I personally have a background in economics, in media economics and business management. And yeah, I think that was the pitch from Rukmal. Now you know what we do.
Okay. Thank you, Karina. Resti?
Hi. So Resti is the online reservation system that can be available for any type of services, either hourly services, hotel management, or so on. We are a SaaS, software built as a service. So shortly, that would be all.
All right. Great. And we have one message in the chat. I have no possibility to talk in air. I'm creating SaaS for public schools. It is standardized website designed for school needs. I have 10+ experience in website development. Svetainė mokykloms.lt is already working in Lithuania. I'm not alone, have some team. Great. No. Sales, customer service, and CTO. Very interesting product as well. Building websites for schools. All right, great to get to know you all. So I will start sharing my slides, but again, talk to each other, know what everybody does, build a community, and share experiences. This will definitely help you out also in the future. I know for myself, coming, from a Lithuanian background, I was always a little shy because, thinking about disturbing other people, right? And not asking questions, but please be bold. Sometimes even a little bit more selfish, and get help. Getting help is the best thing that you could ever ask for. So let me share my screen. Okay. Can you actually see my screen? Yes, okay. Let me start the slideshow from the beginning. All right. So this week is, as we said, we're talking about our target customers, we're talking about market size and research techniques that we can use to size the market. Again, please stop me at any point. I would not want to just talk to the screen. I would like to have your thinking juices going as we speak and say, okay, how do I apply this to my own business, to my own company, to where we are today? And we can definitely discuss that. So Jonas, I see still your raised hand. Is that you wanted to ask something, or is
it? No, it's just previous.
Okay, good. So the agenda is, and we have 2 days, so this will not be extremely intense in terms of homework, because some of it I assume that you already have. For those who don't have them, probably you will have to spend more time. This is some of it will be repetitive, something you already know, some of it new, and some just, common practices, how to basically put that knowledge in practice and understand how to calculate your market, how to segment it, and how to build a profile of your ideal customer. So for today, my goal is to cover the ICP, ideal customer profile, in quite in depth, and I will explain why. And market research, if we can start on market research, good. If we can't, we can definitely start next week with the market research as well, and then finish up with homework that we had and any questions that we had. With the market research, ICP as part of the segmentation tools comes as one of the most important pieces of the puzzle. And I'm looking that it's not probably showing from the beginning. Yes, it does. Okay. So when we segment our markets, we think about, actually, let me start with that, and then it will be easier to flow into ICP. So from the segmentation, the market segmentation, we know that there are several criteria for market segmentation. There are geographic, behavioral, demographic, and psychological, psychographic pieces of the puzzle. You don't have to actually take notes. Everything will be shared with you. If rather than your thoughts, and if you note something that you want to ask, but I would like you just to focus and start thinking about your own situation. So your own business situation that you're in right now. What is my market? What does my market look like? Have I segmented the market? What can I do? What is my geographic segmentation? What is my behavior? Which means that what are my customers look like? Do I know who I sell to or who I want to sell to? Right? So when we think about our ideal customers, it's, for some of you, you're early in the journey. For some of you, you already know them, right? And you will say, well, I have already done that. I already know my customers, right? A lot of times, and you will be surprised how many of the times it happens that mature businesses still go back to the drawing board for understanding who their customers are. And the reason is it's not a one-off event. So segmenting your market and understanding your customers is not one-off event. We will do this over and over again in different stages of your company. Because your customer, your business will change, the market will change, and also your customer needs will change, which means that we continuously need to monitor the market. We will continuously do market research, and we will continuously check in with our customers. Okay, no problem at all. Let me, I'm sorry, this is stuck. All right. Let me fix this real quick. I think it didn't like, because I jumped into a different part of the presentation about the segmentation. That's fine. All right, let me share this again and let's start again. Share. All right, so we can talk about ICP. So ICP is part of the puzzle when we talk about market segmentation. And this is one of the most important pieces of the puzzle, and that's why I want to concentrate mostly on this part. So what do we know about ICP? What do we know about our customers today? What do, for some of you, you already have customers, for some of you, you don't, and you just trying to figure out who your customers are. So in this phase, if this is where you are, and you're still figuring out who your customers are, you will definitely have to have different ICPs, so more than one. These are your theories, the theory that we have about our customer. We're guessing based on market research we did, the data that we collected, we are guessing that these are the customers that will be interested in our product and service. And we'll test 4 to 5 ICPs before we can actually understand who are the low-hanging fruit for us, who are the people that are most likely to buy from us. Agla, I see you raised your hand.
Correct. I have no idea what is ACP. Could you please explain?
Okay. Absolutely. ICP is your ideal customer profile. Ideal customer profile. Why is it so important? Because everything we do is for our customers. Our business does not exist if we don't have customers. This is the very basic, the start, the basis of our business, understanding the customer base, understanding who will most likely to buy from us, and that is the ICP, the ideal customer profile. When and where do we use it? We use it in everything that we do in our business, meaning all the sales, all the marketing activities, our product, our roadmap, everything, if you think about it, will be tied into our customers. And there's 80%, 85% of the startups fail because they talk to the wrong customers. Because they just had an idea, they had a brilliant idea, they put the tech together without confronting themselves with the market, with the needs of the customers and who their customers are. And they've been talking to the wrong customers that absolutely don't have the need, or they're not interested, or the need is not big enough. So what are the main criteria for the ICP? And so this is ideal customer profile. A checklist, we need to have a checklist of the most basic attributes someone needs to have in order to be successful as your customer. And for each of you will be different. We'll focus on geography, we'll focus on their needs, how they interact with your product. Again, for every single one of us will be very different criteria, and these are the criteria that we will test out, and we'll have it as a homework. So if we miss out on understanding who our customers are, we will waste a lot of cash on sales and marketing activities that will generate nothing, because we're talking to the wrong customers. Okay. So in the very early stages of the startup, we'll have 2 types of customers. First, and this is mostly with tech companies, but it applies to every startup as well. But it applies even more to tech companies. So the first ones is when you're in the product development phase still, and some of you will fall into this category, we'll have early adopters. Early adopters are the ones who are looking for disruption themselves. They are looking to, if we're talking about B2B, for example, in the business, there will be companies that are looking for a disruptive product like yours, innovative product like yours, to be ahead of the game, to be ahead of the curve when it comes to their competition. They're trying to survive in their own business, and they just will adopt any innovative idea that gives them the confidence that they can do that for their own business. So these are the early adopters. And the early adopters are very different from your growth stage customers. Your growth stage customers will be the ones who join you because they have a need, and you solve, your product or service solves the need that they solves a problem that they are having, that they're trying to solve, and the goal they're trying to achieve. They will not jump on a startup product though, because it's too risky, because they're just not ready. However, your growth stage customers are watching you, and they're waiting until you have the social proof, until you have customers in the market that have tested, they're happy with the result, and that the result that they have achieved resonates with them as well. Okay, so your early adopters are very different, and they're usually about 2 to 5% of the market. And so the highest value for them is innovation, and they're not price sensitive. They will spend money with you if you deliver the innovation, if they feel like they can be ahead of the game using your technology or using your product. Changing what we're doing is, because our products are innovative, they have not had social proof yet. We don't have yet a huge customer base. So we're trying to disrupt the pattern in behavior, and your growth customers are not ready for it. So when we're talking about brand awareness, this is where, and a lot of companies that I work with, in early stages, they say, so how do we start building social proof? How do we, if they don't trust us, the customers don't trust us, what should we do? Because we're just having the first customers. Start building the brand awareness, start building your social proof right away. So whenever you have growth stage customers, ask them first of all, when they join you, or when they use you and they start using your products, ask them, I will give, for example, you can test with us, or you're one of the few selected ones that can test our product and service. We're still in a beta stage, or you have an advantage of paying less or using more features for less, and it's for a limited amount of time. The way you present it to your growth customers is very important. And you say, in return for that, we would like to get your honest feedback. We would like the good and the bad. So the bad feedback you will use to improve your product. The good feedback, you will start building your social proof. So they will automatically say, okay, we are okay with sharing our good feedback publicly. And that is where you start building your social proof. Do it from the very beginning. The earlier you start doing it, the faster you will get to where you want to be. Armina, you raise your hand, and Elena, I see. Armina, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. Just a bit of sharing session. We had 2 meetings, 2 calls actually with 2 companies last week. And basically the sales pitch lasted for like 10 minutes. They were on board from the beginning just because they are early adopters. And the way we personally, we went for early adopters is to look for the companies who have such a big need that it actually pains them. So it's not kind of something that they would want, but something that it's crucial for them. So we said, look, we're targeting this need. Are you on board? And they said yes. And then we started explaining what we want to do. So
great. And they're not price sensitive, remember? So you can charge them whatever you want.
We'll see. We'll see.
Okay, Elena.
Monica, I would like to ask your opinion about why then many startup consultants actually advise you not to focus on your social presence, all that, branding, awareness and stuff, but say that you, first of all, should focus on your business, development, and that social proof will come by itself or something like that. I mean, I heard it like quite a few times. So I wonder if you're actually talking about a much later stage, like you said, growth stage, or that applies to all, like, I don't know, from the very beginning.
So I cannot respond for other advisors out there. Obviously, it's their experience, their way of doing things. But from what I personally have seen is that the earlier you start building the social proof, the ease you just help your other customers, your growth stage customers to trust you earlier in the journey. So I've seen great results with that, but again, that's not what I advise. Okay, Artemas.
Yes, Monica.
Yes.
What do you think from your experience? Is it possible that early adopters and the mainstream customers are the same? Is it possible that they still are the same? In terms of a pain point, I mean that I do know that my current customers, they have really big points, and this is why they are buying my services. So my question is, can they be the early adopters of a innovative program and then continue as the mainstream customers, or as you say, they are completely different?
I wouldn't say they're completely different. The reasons of their buying intent are different. So their buying intent is different. What they're trying to achieve is different. Basically, disruption, right? Especially when we talk about technology. And again, it will be different to your use case. But again, if we're offering, a digital service to solve the problem, it will apply to some point. What is it? So it's like I said, it's the buying intent that is different. The growth stage companies or the growth stage customers are the ones that will wait till you get the social proof. They will not jump because you're a young company and there's a lot of distrust with young companies. So they will wait till you're established company, till you have a customer base that they and a proof that you can actually achieve what you say that you will achieve. The early adopters, they don't care about that. The level of risk that they are willing to take is much bigger, which, like Armina said as well, is because in some cases their pain is unbearable. They just want to solve it.
And if
and
my
they will take the
customers,
risk.
and if my customers, Monica, are only those who have a really big pain and they can't wait anymore, what in this case? This is why my question arises.
Yeah, absolutely. Then it's great. You have the customers for life, and if you keep continuing solving the pain, I don't see any difference.
Okay, this is what I wanted to know. Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we talked about market segmentation. We segment our ideal customers in smaller, more defined categories, right? And it will help us to know our customers. It will help us to understand their needs, demographics, and location, how to identify them. So when it comes to dividing a large market into smaller groups, again, this is part of the ICP. It will make you more focused. It will direct you more into direction where you spend your time and money purposely and not waste it. Understand how your product reacts, and again, we will talk to our customers once we have identified them. And again, there can be 5 ideal customer profiles that we have to verify. We will understand how each and every single one of them fits with our product, or our product fits their needs, and which segment we will continue with, and which segment will perhaps suspend and not work with, because our product does not fit their needs properly. And making those profiles is very, very important. I meet a lot of founders, even in growth stage. They say, absolutely, we know who our customers are, and they have it all in their head, which doesn't help their teams. It doesn't help their product team. It doesn't help their sales and marketing team. It doesn't help with planning the business, because they say, no, we know it. And the CEO says, or the founder says, well, every time I walk into the room, I sell it, but my team is not able to do it. So start also dumping all that information about your customers, about your business, on a piece of technology, piece of paper, whatever you use. Start writing everything down early in the journey, because once you start adding people to your teams, you won't have. It will be very difficult to align everyone, because you will be super busy and you won't have time to actually dump that all in one go. So start being very systematic on how you share information with the rest of your team. Agla?
My question is about how to structure that information, because it's an ocean, and you don't know if it's yours customer or not. So just a list of 100 sentences, random sentences, or how should it look like?
We'll have a template, and if you look at the documentation that Mita shared as well in the book, the startup book, if you don't have it, I'm happy to send it to you as well, a link to it. But every single one of you should have it in the shared folder as well, where you have templates for ideal customer profile as well. There's one that HubSpot, I don't know if you're familiar with the CRM systems, but HubSpot has it online as well that you can use. There's tons of them, actually. If you just Google an ICP, like format, or a downloadable form, you will find a lot of them. But see the one that fits your needs best and start building those profiles. And this will be our homework, actually, to at least present 3 different customer profiles for our next meeting, if you have time, obviously. But again, if you say, okay, I don't have time for this, you take the risk of you're saving time now, but you will lose money. So I'd rather you spend time on this now instead of losing money in the future, because once you have defined those ICPs, you will go and verify that in the market, which means that you will talk to those customers, to those potential customers, to those imaginary customers that we think will buy from us. Go ahead, Augustinus.
It's about the different how did you call them, buyer profiles? Yeah, that was the term.
Yeah.
So if we are segmenting our customers into different profiles, does that mean that each profile kind of needs to have a different problem being solved? Is that correct?
No. So yes and no, actually. So we need to talk about B2B and B2C. When we talk about B2C, it's very clear. It's our end customer. So our ideal customer will be a person. Ideal customer profile in B2C is a person. If we talk about B2B, we're talking about our ideal customer profile will be a company. It will be another company. And within that ICP, we will have buyer personas. We'll get to that. And those buyer personas are the actual people who work at the company in our ideal customer profile, who actually care about the problem that we're solving. These will be the people that we will talk to in our sales and marketing, and talk with as well. Marketing talk to, sales talk with. Why is it important? Especially when it comes to B2B. Who are you selling to? Who is your target market? There are companies that are located in Lithuania, in Germany, in Finland, and they do this. Okay. Who is the person? But if you talk to everyone in your sales and marketing, no one will buy from you because it doesn't resonate with anyone. So the more we understand who are the people that care about the problem that we solve, then our sales and marketing will be effective, because those people, when they read your messaging, when they talk to you, will say, yes, I do have this problem. And then you can talk about how they are solving that problem today, how differently you solve the problem, and say, with this, this, and this benefit. Armina?
I have a question about B2B. Is it, or should we do profiling for both the company as a whole, or should we profile also the decision maker in the company?
So yes, it's a very good question. In B2B, ideal customer profile will be a company, and then we will have buyer personas within that company. Attention, I'm saying buyer personas because there can be more than one. It's not always only the decision maker. So a lot of times we have a decision maker and the user, and they're different people. So if I hope Resti won't mind that I will present their case. So their reservation system, they have two buyer personas. So their reservation system helps businesses to get organized, okay? Within those businesses, there are two people who care about this organization thing. One is the user, the one who will be using the reservation system to organize their work. They don't care. Again, user and decision maker have different needs. There are two different things that they care about. The user will care about how easy it is installed, how easy it is to use, how much time will I save, okay? the decision maker won't care how much time it will save to the user or how easy it is to operate. They will care to a certain point because they will not be the ones who are using it. They will care how much money I will save, how many more customers I can get, how much more profit that translates to. So when you will talk to decision maker and the user, you will talk in a different way. You will present different benefits to them that will resonate with them. Okay, Karina?
So talking about users and the buyers, will we make buyer personas just for the buyers then, and also for the end users, or just for the buyers or decision makers?
So in your case, you have B2C and B2B. So you will have more profiles than anyone else because you will have B2B, your B2C, your direct customer. I need a table today. I'm going on Google and I'm looking for it. And who am I? Where am I? What's my age? What is my demographic situation? And in your specific case, we said, perhaps one of the identifiers is that I have a table. I don't want another table. I don't have space for another table. I want to have something that my table will be adjustable. So that's your ideal customer profile, right? Another customer profile in B2B will be ideal. It will be, for example, a business who, as we discussed, who will be adopting or already adopted a flexible time working for their employees. And there is a legislation that says that the home office needs to meet specific requirements. So who is your buyer persona in that company? You will have the decision maker who will be making that decision to buy your product for their home working employees. And two, you will have the employee that works at that company that now has to set up a home office.
So the person who, or the employee who has to set up a home office, this person will also have that will also be a buyer persona. Okay, all right, thank you.
Yeah. And the users usually can become your what is it called? Your help me out here.
Like a supporter who tells the boss that this is a great product. Advocates.
Right, your advocates, yes, because if you speak to them directly in your sales and marketing campaigns and when you call them, they will say, okay, let me talk to the boss because I'm not the decision maker, but if I will refer this information to my boss and see, and see if we can push this forward. But when you speak to the boss, because they will get the boss into the meeting, you will address completely different points. You will say, look, if you buy this for all of your employees, you will, what do they care about? That they're in line with the legislation. That perhaps if they buy in bulk, they will save money. Their employees will be healthy and because they will be sitting in a comfortable chair for long hours and won't say, oh, my back is hurting. All right. So all these things will be different than when you talk to the user. The benefits. Okay. That is.
Yeah, and what about when you're selling the product B2B, which is selling B2C? So actually it goes like in the line B2B to C. And
yes,
my solution is giving advantages to the company to sell products more to the customers, like the final customers. So in this case, what kind of who is the customer? The final customer, or also you have to go in a line and split them into two, like B2B is one customer and B2C is another customer?
That's correct.
Okay.
If you're selling both to single people that are not part of a company, that's your buyer persona in B2C. And if you're selling to B2B, that you will be talking to the people who work in a company, that your buyer personas as well.
And what about like if, okay, let's talk in this example. To the company, the product is service, actually, which allows to personalize that company things they're selling. Let's say chocolates. So I go to the chocolate manufacturer and selling this solution, which allows him to personalize his chocolates, which he's selling to the customers in supermarkets and so on.
Who cares about the personalization? In that specific business, who cares about personalization? Is it innovation manager? Is it production manager? Is it product manager?
Marketing team, probably.
Okay.
And marketing team could be outside from the company also, because usually the big companies, they're having side companies which are doing the marketing for them, and it could change.
Why do you think it's the marketing team?
Because you can sell this in your marketing campaign. This feature, you can sell it on top in a marketing. Like if you're buying this sneakers, not this Mars, you will get this feature. It allows you to do more, not to be just a chocolate, but to be something more.
Who gets the profit of that? What's the and the end results when it's customized? Do we sell more? Do we sell to a specific niche? Who gets the profit of that? What's the end goal?
The profit goes to the chocolate manufacturer because they sell more chocolates, because the chocolates will have more features comparing to regular chocolates.
Who cares about that more profit within the factory, within the business?
Manager of chocolate factory.
That's your ICP.
Okay. But to get to it, probably you should start going from the people from lower sections, or no? Or you have to go straight to this?
The ones that are directly affected. Marketing team will not be directly affected by it. Who will be directly affected will be the end user who will buy the personalized chocolate, but who will make more profit within the company is the founder, the CEO. These are the people who care about making more profit.
Yeah, but you know, to go to the CEO of Procter & Gamble, it's pretty hard.
Why is it hard?
Usually it's hard to get the contacts.
Why is it hard to get the contacts?
Because nobody shares them, and usually there is a lot of walls because there is a lot of people who are trying to get them, and they're trying to build walls, so you cannot get straight into them.
Okay. What if I tell you this amazing technology used today by salespeople that actually allows you, it's creepy, but it's true, it's GDPR compliant, that you can get email addresses and phone numbers of the CEOs and founders of the companies. I'm happy to share with you if you're interested.
It's nice. Yeah,
in any case, when you will be trying to get in touch with your end customer or your ICP, it's very important that you understand very clearly what they care about, So when you pick up the phone, when they actually answer to your email or phone call or LinkedIn message or Facebook message, wherever they are, that you know exactly what to say and what's important to them, and you hit the nerve right away. And that is why we need ICP. We need to understand their full profile. And a lot of times the pain that they are going through, or the problem they're trying to solve, or the goal they're trying to achieve, because it's not always the pain, right? Perhaps there is a goal that they're trying to achieve, making more money, finding different ways of making money, like in your case, like we just discussed. Making personalized chocolate might be one of the ways how to make more money. So when you pick up the phone, you will say, hey, what if I tell you that I know how you could make more money because I have one of the ways that you can do it. Would you be interested to know how? Listen to me, what I have to say. I think you should use personalized chocolate, or have you tried using personalized chocolate to add a revenue stream to your business? Right? So we need to very well understand what they're trying to achieve in their position. And sometimes it seems very obvious, right? The founder, the CEO, they care about the business and they want business to make more money. But when we're talking about a user, a dentist who has a dental office and uses pen and paper to manage their bookings, right? What they're trying to achieve, they're trying to be more organized. We'll say, look, there's a better way of doing it. Here's a reservation system that will not break the bank. You will get more customers. You will be more organized. They can book themselves. Will be less pain. Right. So ICP, so understanding the ideal customer profiles serves for this, that we fully understand what they're going through. It's not about us, because yes, we have a great idea, business idea, and we think it will work, but it's about our customers that we will solve problems for. We need to understand the problem in depth. Only then we will be successful. And we will have to adjust our product, we will have to adjust our service to meet their needs. But before we do that, before we start jumping loops for every single ICP, because they will have different needs, we have to understand which is the one, or which is a few of the 2 or 3 that will actually work for us, that we will solve their problems and they're most likely to buy from us. And this is the stage where we have this this theory of who they are, but we have to talk to them and verify that it's actually true. Lucas.
Okay, thanks.
Mm-hmm. Yes, so basically I have got a question regarding different diseases, if I can say it. So basically we have got not only one disease, as I mentioned earlier, but we have two diseases which we will use in our product portfolio, and also this analysis in which you are able to understand your body, like the pros and cons of your body, and these pros and cons you can use in sports, for example, as an example. And how should we do the customer segmentation? Now it's like, what is the correct problem? How to segment it, everything, and how to make the correct problem, because we have got like two main diseases on which we're trying to focus. Also, we're trying to focus on analysis of a person who might like to get more information about their genes, bodies, etc. So I would like to hear your opinion.
Is it B2C or B2B?
It's gonna be both.
Okay, so let's talk about the people.
Yeah.
Okay, because you're saying we are going to two different directions, to different diseases. So let's talk about the people, and it will be much more clearer. So the two people that will have two different diseases, right? And we're trying to prevent them from having those diseases.
Yeah.
So that's one ICP. So are they specific? So the person, one of the people, so one of the persons, are they interested to know how to prevent that because they have a family history?
Yeah. Okay.
How do they get to you? How do I get to use your service?
Yeah. Okay. So basically, the perfect customer probably. Well, I thought about it. It would be the person. Customer probably will be which has very unique relationship with their elder one, for example, their father, mother, grandparent, and they have a unique relationship or had a unique relationship, and regarding that disease, their relationship like disrupted or ended because they were impacted, their like relationship were impacted, and they probably would like to get more information or start digging. Will it affect them? Will their like relationships later on will be disrupted the same way as it is now? Sorry, just cut a little bit blue.
I love the way you put it because it sounds like a perfect marketing campaign. Sorry to be so cynic about it, but the way you will talk to that person, right, about relationships being disrupted, you're not actually talking about, because the reality of it is my loved one died of cancer. I might have it too. So I'm interested to know, I'm going to go to Lucas and see if I can find out what are the probabilities of me having that too, right? But the way you're selling it to me, I'm buying it because you're telling me that my relationship was disrupted with a loved one. That's a huge pain. And I want to prevent that from happening to my kids. So I'm going to go to you and I'm buying from you. If you put it that way, I'm buying from you. That's great. That's great messaging. But that's understanding the customer, right? So your ICP is someone who has lost a loved one, and that can be one of them, right? I might not have to lose someone to come to you. So what is the other ICP? So one ICP is I lost someone, and I want to know if that disease is in my genes, and I want to understand if that is the likelihood of that happening to me. Right? So that's one ICP. What's the other one? What if I haven't lost anyone? Am I just curious?
Yeah. So the other
what am I going to be looking for? Because you said you're concentrating on two. I haven't lost anyone. Am I going to be your customer? Can you hear me?
Could you please repeat the question, because I think I have a little bit some.
So if I haven't lost anyone, I didn't lose a loved one to a disease.
Yeah.
Am I going to be your customer? If yes, why?
So we can. Yes, and then it follows up because we can offer you an early information of early information on a possibility if you're likely to have this disease later on.
Mm-hmm. So how do you get me to it? Because my pain is just a curiosity. It's not a real pain.
Yeah. Okay.
So these are the things we need to think about, right? So if we want to get, and that's another segment, right? It's a segment. It's another a group of people who have not experienced the pain of losing someone or having the disease in the family. They're just curious. So what else is in there, right? So we need to understand why this person would come to us. What are they trying to achieve, right? And
okay, so I don't know, maybe it will be wrong, but I will ask. I thought another way there should be, if maybe people would like to lower their costs when later on taking care of that person. If you get this like result of possibility getting this disease early on, you're likely to pay 10 times less for taking care of that person. And this could be like from money standpoint. I don't know how to explain it correctly, but probably it would be another thing which people like to think about it.
But it's not comforting, because I'm going to come to you. You're going to tell me that there's a 60% chance I'm going to get it, and then you're going to tell me if you start taking, supplements or exercising or whatever, I can actually change that.
Yeah, you can decrease.
And then from the business, once you have verified those ICPs from the business perspective, which you will decide which segment is for you more profitable, which one will buy faster and is willing to spend more.
Okay, I understood. And can I come back a little bit earlier? So regarding the two products which are based on a disease and one product which is more based on like your body analysis for sports, where to go? Which way, or should we just go in with these two different directions and
you have to verify them? Yes, you have to verify both of them and see, because what I think or you think might not be true. We need to verify with hundreds of people to see what the trend is. Is the trend, is it the person who lost someone is more likely to buy from you? They will buy faster and are willing to pay more, which is automatically more profitable for you to focus on because you will make more money. Or perhaps there's a trend, everyone is freaking out and they want to know whether they need to change their lifestyle not to get one of or the other disease. Right? We don't know. We can only assume. Ours are assumptions at this point. We need to go in the market, talk to these people, and verify that.
Okay.
And then it's easier to make business decisions on that data, knowing that. That's why it's so important. Of course. Any other questions? So we've seen the criteria for ideal customer profile will be very different for each of you. But the most common or general ones are, if this one is for B2B, if we're talking about the company, size of the company, revenue, number of employees, industry, potential growth potential, geography, tech stack, because perhaps there's, your tech company and they necessarily have to use 365, Windows 365 to benefit from your services, etc., etc. Augustinas has a question.
Yes, a short one about different ideal customer profiles. So if you have different customer profiles, each with different needs, as we established, how then do you use a marketing channel effectively? For example, a website or a social media account. I mean, because you have to have a single pitch in there. So do you try to target all of them or neither?
Do you have to have a single pitch?
I don't know. Do I?
The more personalized your pitch, the more tailored to your ICP, the better results you will have. If you speak to everyone, no one will buy. You have to speak to your ICP. And if you have 3 of them, then you will separately speak to all 3 of them. With a targeted message, with telling them, I understand your pain. I have a solution to your pain. I can help you achieve your goal.
Thank you, Monica.
Okay. We have some messages here. Armina shared a message. Crossing the Chasm was a good book of transitioning from early adopters to mass market. Everybody saw that, okay? Speaking of books, and Lucas is asking, maybe you can sell a longer life because you can prevent diseases before when they happen. Definitely, this is what you have to sell. You are gonna sell the impact. What is going to happen after you use my service? How it's going to impact your life, how it's going to impact your business, and this is what we're going to sell. And also talking about books, I wanted to share with you the Lean Startup. I don't know if you can see it because my is blurred. Showing to the wrong place. It's called The Lean Startup by Eric Ries. It's an amazing book, just in general about startups and about starting a business. There's some of the comments that we're saying in the book that every entrepreneur should read the book to start with. Eric Ries, I'll share it. Highly recommend it. Eric Ries, The Lean Startup. Okay. Agustinas, did you have another question? Or is just raised hand?
Sorry, no. Well, yeah.
Okay. Should we stop for 10 minutes or keep going and stop later? 10 minutes, 15 minutes, how much do you need? Any suggestions?
Yeah, 10 minutes would be great.
Okay, let's go for 10 minutes. It's 5:30 for you, I guess. So we'll meet in 20 minutes to in 10 minutes.
Are the 10 minutes for the break or for doing the task?
For the break, yeah.
Okay,
break.
all right.
Yeah, for the break. I'll see you all in 10 minutes.
Monica?
Is everyone back?
Almost.
Great. All right. So we just talked about buyer personas, ICP. I think for everyone was quite clear the importance of understanding and starting to segment our customers, understanding who they are, what problems do we solve for them, and where to find them, what their demographic information is, et cetera, et cetera. There's so much information out there if you want to continue reading on it and understanding it. So I'm happy to share any sources that if you're interested as well. So let me see if I can. Why is it stuck again? So just a couple of examples of ideal buyer personas and what type of information we might be interested in. That can be the background, can be age, can be salary, can be education, job characteristics, and identifiers. What is it special about them? The more in depth we go, the better. Again, for each of our situations, it can be different. It can be, what kind of car do they own? How many children they have, whether they're single, whether they're married. But the more we understand, the better. For some of this information will be irrelevant. So finding the right criteria is important as well. And the way to find it, once you have defined it and you start talking to your ideal customers, you will start seeing patterns in people that are interested in your product and service, and they say they might be interested to use it. You will start seeing patterns in the profiles that will be similar, or might emerge a couple of specific requirements or specific specificities about them that will unite them in that ICP. And it will be eye-opening, because then you will know, that there's a commonality in between those customers and why, and then they're all saying that they are interested in your product. Again, this can be also about the goals they're trying to achieve. And when we will structure our, just trying to move to the side, okay. The goals, the challenges, and how our product and service can help them with the challenge, with the goal. And this will be part of your sales and marketing campaigns as well. This will be the fundamentals for your sales and marketing. Once you have this, it will be so much easier once you hire the right people to your team to execute. If once you start growing, you say, okay, we need to add people to our team. We're ready to have sales and marketing teams. The first thing a sales professional will ask you is that, what are we selling and who are we selling to? If you have this information ready, and you say, these are our ICPs, these are the buyer personas within the ICPs, they will say thank you and they will go to work. If you won't have that, it will be a long process, because you will have to still go through the process of identifying who your customers are together with your sales team, right? They will ask you, how we can help, what are the main USPs, unique selling points, what's the impact, how their life will get better, how they will get closer to their goals if they work with us. Okay. Questions? Is everyone clear on the ICP? Good. So this was one of the exercises that I actually would like us to do right now. What are the first, you might already have this, but what are the first set of criteria that you can think of for your ICP? Let's work together on this. If you have questions, I'm here. And I think you will not even need 15 minutes. You'll probably need just 10 minutes on this. Is everyone clear on the exercise that we need to do?
Understand.
Okay. Start thinking about your use case and think about which of the 4 pieces of the puzzle is important to your specific customers, and write them down. I'll nudge you again at the hour. It's 5 or 6, wherever you are.
Do we have to write it down somewhere specifically or just internally on our laptop?
Just write it for yourself and then we'll share.
Okay.
do we have to choose one of these four and then goes down, or we just need to take one from this four, one from demographic, one from physiographic, or just we need to choose one of them and then take one?
Whatever you think is relevant to your ideal customer. It can be all four, it can be just a couple.
Okay.
Because if you're working with genes prediction or selling technology, it can be very different. So whatever works for you, whatever you think it will work for your ideal customers. Do you need more time? I'm taking it as a yes.
Actually, looking at these two middle groups, I started to realize that I don't understand my customers that well. So sad news.
It's good news.
Yeah,
it's
I
good
mean,
news that you're realizing it now.
yeah, because there are some things that are obvious, but let's say when you look to the details, it's quite difficult to define. Yeah.
And again, not everything will be relevant.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
the more we know, the better.
Yeah. So maybe Simonas, you go.
We were thinking about like definitely gender and age is important for us. So thinking like 27-year-old male with a established career and solid income would be very the customer we're looking at. Also possibly no kids, because kids take time, so there is no time for hobby. Also this it should be probably a guy with working in the IT field, maybe with computers or something, because the product is about programming and stuff. We don't care about geographical stuff. It's doesn't matter at all. And also, yeah, this possible future client should want to spend money on fun stuff. Let's put it that way. Sometimes people love fun stuff, but don't want to pay money for it.
Let's define that, what fun stuff. Yeah, because when we will talk to them, to that client, if we know what that fun stuff is, we'll be very more personalized in our approach, right? Because same fun stuff can mean a lot of things to different people. But if we know our customer that well, that we know what fun stuff for them is, we can address that directly.
For example, Lego. Is it useful? No, not really. Is it fun? Yeah, absolutely. It's constructing some, building some stuff and assembling things and inventing things is fun. And then you just put into a shelf and forget until next time. So one of the profiles would be like this.
Okay. I can definitely see that, yes.
So I guess that's it.
Okay, who's next?
I can present. So as I mentioned previously in the beginning, what we do is that we provide tutoring services. And yeah, as we have clients, so I can define maybe more clearly without less assumptions. So the first graph, demographic. So it's a woman, 35 to 50 years old. Talking about income. So our customers are like 20% low income segment, and the rest is like high and mid income segment. And it also comes from different researchers that I've looked into in the Europe. So we have quite similar trends here in Lithuania.
Sorry.
Yeah. So what we target is the 4 largest cities, and looking to total tutoring market. Let's say here in Lithuania, talking about only Lithuania, it's 20% of total market. Yeah.
I have a quick question. Sorry to interrupt you. With your service, how many interested parties are in your service? So the woman that you defined, is it someone who is aggregating the service, or is it someone who is benefiting from the service?
Basically, the woman is the one who orders this service.
Okay.
Yes, and the service is used by kids who go to school. So by their
Okay,
children.
so the woman is the decision maker.
It's mixed because sometimes kids are the ones who make a decision because parents just basically ask, do you like this page, this theme? Is it fine for you? But in most cases, again, it's a woman, it's a mother who does it.
Okay, so how many profiles should you have? Just for the decision maker, or just for the person who is paying for it, or also for the user who will be using it?
I think it would be 2 profiles. So it would be mother, one person, and the other would be a kid who is going to use it. Yeah.
So let's make a profile for the kid as well. If they have a say in the buying process, we definitely want to profile as well, because we want to know what's their age, what's their interests, what is that they will be attractive to them from our product as well. What will be their buy-in reasons, and not someone else, some other system or service.
Yeah, definitely. I just had like the time as everyone, so I just
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Sorry, I interrupted you. There's more to it.
Okay. And yeah, talking about family situation, so it would be married or divorced woman, and also yeah, and of course it should she should have a child, at least one, so that would mean we can sell a service. Interests, I mean, I just wrote science, sports, music, culture, because in most cases people go to some activities after school, and people who let so parents who let kids, they are also usually interested in the same subject, so we can assume that there's interested too. Lifestyle also, I wrote down very active, busy people living in cities, don't have enough time, or they simply don't want to explain the things that they don't understand that well. So they are looking for someone who's expert in this area. And geographic terms, so basically we look to urban areas. We care about big cities where people earn a lot and they don't have enough time, or they just don't want to do that. So that's our target.
Okay, that's good. Now let's put that into a nice template that when we hire salespeople, we can just give it to them.
Yeah, of course. Thanks.
You're welcome. Who's next?
I can proceed.
Go ahead.
Okay, so in my case, we are dealing with behavior changing. So, and we have very similar case like Tadas has, because we have decision makers and users, mothers who have teens with overweight or obesity, as well as teens themselves who have overweight and obesity, and they are users. Some cases they are decision makers, but in most cases they are not, because they don't want to change anything. They have some psychological problems they go through because of their position and problem. So we are focusing currently mostly on mothers, and those mothers who are having great pain because they are very much nervous about they are really considerate about the health of their child, so they are ready to spend some money to do something. Those mothers should probably should have already some positive experience themselves, not with their child, in the digital world. I mean, trying to control their weight or making dieting or something. So those mothers should have some knowledge about how to use this. Mostly urban areas are our target audience, because we have some experience. We are doing this for 7 years, so we know that 70% of customers are coming from urban areas, so they are more ready to solve this and change their own behavior, because our solution also is not just to change something in teens world. We are changing the lifestyle of a mother. So we are focusing on those people who are eager to change something. So I think the biggest issue is psychological issues, and when we consider our profile of the customer, so we take care about these things. What is the motivation? The motivation is to help ASAP, as soon as possible, to help children, and this is the biggest, I think, feature of the profile. They have to have a really big pain about it, a care about the health of their children. So then they are ready to do something.
I will challenge you here. What about single fathers?
Yes, I know why you asking that, but this is sad statistics that fathers normally they don't participate in this kind of programs. 99.9% we have only mothers participate in it. These are the statistics of 7 years. So we are targeting families, not mothers. But the practice shows that mothers are the ones who can change themselves for their child. And fathers are the ones who are making money and they are not ready to change their own behavior in order to help their child. They leave it to somebody else, to a professional or to a mother or to the child himself. So this is an issue. Good point, Monica, thank you. But I'm ready to answer you because I know what's happening there.
Let's keep an open mind when we go into different markets. When we start expanding, because our reality is not the only reality, right? Exactly. So this is a good. This is where I was trying to go as well. I know that you probably have really good reasons for targeting the mothers, but the thing is when we are expanding, and we will talk about this more on Wednesday. When we will be doing a market research before we introduce our product and service into a different market. One of the characteristics that we will have to look into is a cultural thing as well. So culturally, how open, how different is the cultural environment for our service as well in a different market, right? So it's a very good point to actually point out. But you served it for me, so thank you.
No, it's a good point from your side because I've been thinking about it because, for example, if we go to a Asian market or Arabian market, which I'm actually considering because the obesity rates there are raising. So USA is not the only market, So yeah, we have to consider that, or Indian market, where men have a power of decision making very well. So I know what you're talking about. Thank you for that. I'll do more as a homework for me.
Sure. Thank you. I saw Franciscus raised his hand a long time ago. Go ahead.
Yeah. So as Mantas presented earlier, we are building a reservation system, a reservation platform. And it's in B2B area, so we have decision makers and also users. So we decided to go with users ICP. So from demographic perspective, let's say it should be like 20 to 40 years old, working in wellness and entertainment business. With average salary, from a psychographic standpoint, those people should be internet savvy, most probably extroverts because they chat and talk with clients, and working in service-based businesses. From a behavioral standpoint, they are eager to simplify, automate, and learn, and they don't have any reservation system, so they are answering phones all day long, accepting those reservations. And from a geographic standpoint, we thought about Lithuanian bigger cities, so urban areas. So yeah.
Okay. Good, thank you for sharing. Ignas was next, and then Yeva.
Okay, when we are talking about basketball, first of all, I think you must like that game. Why you like this game? It could be that we want to compete. When we are competing, we want to improve our skills because at the end of the day, we want to win, and we want to win because of we want to be somehow rewarded. So to make money or to be famous. So I think that it could be from psychographic point. My customer.
I would definitely suggest to dig deeper. Are your customers former athletes? Are they into online games? Are they gamers? Are they perhaps unable to play sports for a physical difficulty, a trauma, a disability? Think deeper, think layers and layers deeper. Think about all the people that could be interested in playing the game and understand their personal reasons why, the personal motivation. Why would I want to play basketball online? Right? What is my personal need that I'm
No, it's not
fulfilling
online.
here?
It's an app where you can find your competing and you find that tournament or another player, so you play it in live.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, apologize. I misunderstood then. I thought it was online. Okay. Okay.
So it's a formal athletes. So everybody who can play this and like this game. So
okay. Is there a different age groups that you can divide them to?
Yes, of course. It could be from 10 years old, 10 to 12, 12 to 14, 14 to 16, and then 18 plus, and then we can have and 30 plus and 40 plus and 50 plus. But when we need to know your exact customer, I think it's not, we are not talking about everyone. So we need to talk about this one who really wants to play and maybe somehow to pay money for that, because all these rankings and all tournaments pay you some tokens or cryptocurrency.
Okay, gotcha. Very interesting concept. Okay, thank you. Yava?
Okay, so our criteria would be middle income, middle age, 30, 40 and up. Families and individuals could be as well. Nature lovers, sea or outside lovers, healthy lifestyle. Also, we care about the design of a product and care about the planet, since we reuse the plastics. And I believe it should be related somehow to quality, and the geographic is Scandinavian market around the Baltic Sea, all the countries, not necessarily all Scandinavian, but all the Baltic Sea bordering countries.
I'm just going to piggyback on what you said and add also a next step. When we will be talking to our customers, or when we will be reaching out and looking where to find those customers, you said they have to be environmental sensitive, what's happening right now, and care about these causes in this direction. So for you to find your customers will probably be, one of the criteria will be, what else do they care about? Because sometimes opening like a parallel level of what other services do they use, what other values do they care about. We can find parallels in that sense, and understand that this probably my target customer as well. If they care about, sustainability, perhaps they will care about what we are doing as well. If they are purchasing, I don't know, only organic food or organic cotton, clothes, or even, reusable secondhand, perhaps that is a type of customer as well. And that is not only for your case, but also in other cases as well. Let's think in broader sense. What else do they care about, and how will we present ourselves in the market in terms of values? And I'm thinking about you, Karina, as well, the brand awareness, right? What are the values? Because when we talk about different or similar products in the market that could also fulfill their need or the goal they're trying to achieve, the difference can be very, very, very subtle, is like, brand awareness and the values, the company. So defining what are your company values that will resonate with your customer, and defining that early in the journey is definitely helpful as well.
Yeah, sure. Okay, thank you very much.
Because then when you're welcome, when the customers will choose your product versus another product, what will they care about? Perhaps it's the values that you represent, your company represents, right? Who's next? Martina's? Oh, sorry, Karina, I didn't, I somehow, go ahead, Karina. Sorry, Martina.
And that's all right. Martinez can go first as well if he prefers.
I think you press it first, so you should go and I will go after.
Okay, all right. So we at Rückmal have at the one side the end users or the B2C customers who actually use the product, but we also have the B2B buyers, the decision makers. So I focus now on the decision makers because because of the time. So let's look into that. So we have different buyers here. They very important for us is their education background, but also their occupation. So it could be a business owner, for example, from a medium-sized company. It could be someone who works in HR. It could be a work security officer, or also in Germany, there's something called occupational health management, which big companies have. And sometimes it can even be a department manager. Yeah, so you can see we have different B2B buyer personas here. They all have in common that they have a responsibility for people and their well-being at their workstation. And then we can also narrow it down to the geographic. So we would first focus on the German market, as there are a lot of laws and requirements compared to other countries in the European Union or in the world. And then the psychographical parts are also very important. So the values, motivation, and the lifestyle. And there we target people who are health focused or focused on productivity, business owners who want to follow the laws, or also maybe want to have a modern office. And I think there are different buyer personas, which I can narrow down more, but this was just an overview about how our B2B buyers could look like.
That's good. Anyone has any questions for Karina? Thank you. Martina, go ahead.
Okay. So our ideal user should be like 17, 18 years old students, and they should be in the last year of their high school. The location probably should be in Lithuania, because we do have exams prepared for Lithuanian national exams. And then I wrote about behavioral side. So probably they should be motivated to reach their goals. And also, I'm not sure, like, should I emphasize and be focused more on the users, like students who are having the bad grades or good grades? Because I think like there should be like two different personas, because their motivation should be different. Because those like who have bad grades, they should use it to improve the grades, and for those who are having better ones, I think they're using the app by default just to keep the same level, probably something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay, thank you. With Mokslukas, we have, again, here we have two sides, right? We will have the decision maker, the one who will be paying for it. And let's see whether it's the same person. Is it the teenager that is paying for it, or is it the parents that are still paying for it? And what are the different profiles? And what's the goal that the teenager is trying to achieve, and what's the goal that the parents are trying to achieve?
So it should be like two different personas. Like one persona is parents who are worrying about and care about their children. Another one should be a person itself who is motivated to do it by itself. Yeah.
That's correct. Because the reasons why they will use your service will be different. The parents won't care what kind of features you have on your platform. I don't know if you will have like gamification or something like that. I'm just shooting from the hip now. But if the user might care about that, the way they will learn, they will care about that, the way it's presented, right? The parents will care about the goal that they're trying to achieve is that their son and daughter finishes school, gets into university, and has great job opportunities or more successful start into their adult life, right? The parents won't care whether gamification is part of the platform, but the user might, the teenager might care about that, right? So that's where the different, when we will communicate, it's all about how we will communicate, how we will get to our buyers is important. That's why it's important to understand what is their motivation of buying, what is their, and how they will buy it. What's the process of them making that decision? And then where you will start talking about competition, then you will add another layer, how you solve the same problem differently, right? So how is it different from other platforms that are out there? Why they need to choose you? Okay.
Okay, noted. Thank you.
Lucas.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, our age group are between 25 and 40 years old women, which are married. They're mid-high income class, no specific location, without medical degree. And they would like to get a quick answer, one life. Probably you will understand, one-time thing. Trust science, friend recommended based, motivation, simple and fast, and mothers which take cares faster her family like health.
Okay.
Yeah.
Quick question right away. Why? What is the main thinking behind excluding the male?
The main thing is that the males usually, well, for standing point from Lithuania, from 45 years until they have to check their prostata. I don't know how to pronounce it correctly, but
yeah,
until then, males do not like do not participate in trying to research them, to look into their like health, etc. We would like to add this like a second segment of a customer, which are persons from 45 plus, also as men, whom are mid high class income class, and it's another segment. So that's why we left it a little bit aside. But as you mentioned earlier, that it shouldn't be strictly in all markets. I understand that there could be movements in different markets, different markets, different behaviors of men.
Could we reach the male segment in the, if you were thinking about only Lithuania, could we reach the male segment in Lithuania through female segment? I'm just adding perspective, shooting from the hip. I can hear it in my head saying, buy, because it's a one-time thing, buy it for Christmas for your husband, or can they be advocates for us to sell more to them, because at the end of the day, they will be the ones who are purchasing the females. But perhaps we can get that to the male segment through them as well.
So we should use these use the segment to impact the men's segment, if I understand it correctly.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Why not?
Okay, but
your buyer persona is still the female, though, in this case.
Yeah, that's. But there's also like we can look from another standpoint. We can also have the minority in Lithuania. Maybe there are men who also take care of their health, same as women.
Let's verify that in the market, because our assumption is that our male buyers will not be interested until they're 40, because that's where they have their first prostate checkup. That's our assumption today, right? So let's verify that in the market.
Okay.
And do a market research with perhaps younger males, because it's worth it, absolutely worth it to look into whether they would be interested in using this service as a one-time thing, but we need to understand what the motivation would be. Is it the same motivation as our ICP, as our females, or is it different? That's we need to understand as well. But it's worth understanding different segments, because we might just assume something and then lose out on a stream of revenue. Verify in the market, and you are early in the journey. You have the time and the means to verify it. Because what if, I'm throwing it out there, what if you haven't covered that segment because your assumption was that males will not be interested, and then you had a competition 2 years from now targeting specifically that segment plus the segment that you are serving.
Okay.
Right? So let's verify the segments now that we're early in the journey, and keep verifying as we go.
Okay, then. Thank you.
Who's next? I think we lost half of the group. Well, thank you for sticking out with me. Agle. We cannot hear you. You're on mute.
apologize for the noise. I'm here
No
waiting
worries.
for the kids to finish the class.
No
I had
worries.
been on and off for the call, so I haven't. I didn't do this task. I just listened to what others said. My question is, I will do this later. So my question is, how should I know my customers? I believe I have to do tons of user research. Or this is something I would like and project as an ideal customer. Even given my previous experience with a platform, secondhand kid stuff platform, which I worked on for 1 year. I did a lot of user research, but not really a lot, but some. And I still wouldn't be able to answer the questions like, do they care about environment? Because some of them do, some of them don't. So basically, how should I know?
Is it relevant to what you're doing, whether they care about the environment or not?
I mean, so given that I want to know what they are interested in, what is their lifestyle, what are their values, why they use this group and try to buy secondhand rather than a new item, I believe I should care, and even marketing, I should, put the emphasis on the virtues that I think are important to them.
Then yes. So what are their buying reasons? Are they buying secondhand because they're trying to save? That can be one ICP. Another can be because they care about the environment, because they restrain from buying new things. And that is a segment in itself. There is a certain amount of people who do not buy new things, new clothes, because it's bad for the environment. So that can be a segment in itself. So we can separate that into different segments.
Yeah, and then my question is, so that was something I worked on previously. Given the situation that I might have different users now, so my idea is to write like letters to kids and help them reconnect with their parents by reading them and solve certain problems, such as brushing their teeth every night, or drinking water while they're sick, which are not huge problems, and not that, I mean, the problems that you should normally wouldn't see the therapist, but something that every family struggles with. So basically, if I want to know the segment of my users, where should I start with? Should I start with talking to them, or just conceptualizing the idea itself?
Right. So first is a hypothesis that we will go into the market. We think that this is the person. We think that they would fit this type of criteria. Then we will find them and we will talk to them. And it might be yes, or it might be no, or might be a little bit different. Maybe we'll have to twist it. For me, it's hard to talk about your specific use case, because I do not know the whole idea yet. And I don't know who is the paying customer in your case, how you will monetize your service, and who is the person that will be paying for it.
That's parents, subscribers. It will be subscribers who will pay monthly subscription for letters that will arrive in their mailboxes. So it's the same story as Tadas and Thomas. I think users are kids, decision makers are parents. families.
Okay, so let's have two profiles. Let's have a profile for the parents, so age group, interest, geographical location, and then also for the kids. What is, and again, understanding the motivations. What is the reason why the kid will write the letter? What is the reason the parent will want that letter, right? And it can be obvious and it can be more subtle ones. And if we peel down the layers, what will it mean to the child to write that letter? What will it mean to the parent to receive that letter?
It's basically, I am writing the letter, the kids are receiving the letter, and they're just reading the letter.
Okay.
I haven't gone that far about the engagement, can they reply or not, but the main idea is that they're getting letter from their favorite character, let's say Harry Potter, and then they, and then, you know, the content is different story. There are a lot of ways how I can, what is the content, but some of the ideas is just to help them solve certain problems, or just send them a newsletter update about the world news. So
very interesting.
So my idea is, my question is whether I should sit at the table and think of the ideal customer, the ideal parent and ideal kid, or should I first talk to people and then like conceptualize from what I heard?
Both.
I should know something, but I should also interpret.
You in your head, you already kind of have an idea who that parent is. Because when you say, I will go and talk to them, you already have an idea who to go to talk to, right? So all you need to do is describe that person.
Okay, so basically I should have some knowledge, but I can interpret it. Like I
Absolutely. And it's a process. It's not a one-time event, as we said at the beginning as well. And you will keep on refining your customers, especially because in the course of the life cycle of your business, their needs will change. Situation, geographical situation, everything can change. Political situation can change, and their needs can change, and habits. So you look at it as a process, as a constant process of having a profile and verifying it. And the more you speak to the customers, even when you have your paying customers already, that you will keep verifying that information with them. If their needs are the same, if they're still happy with using your service, if their needs change, how before they leave your platform to find a different provider that will fit your needs, right? And just keep having that return, that cycle. The earlier we understand that it's a not one-time event, the better we will run our business, and we can adjust and pivot and keep serving our customers.
Thank you, Monica. Thanks.
Francisco's had a question.
Yeah, I have pretty short one. When we will be targeting several segments, ICP should be created and defined for each segment separately, or okay.
Yes. Okay. And at the beginning, you might find yourselves to have a lot of ICPs and a lot of segments. As you go, then you will see which segments make more sense for you as a business to focus on. And that is usually the case, is the ones that bring you most profit. The business then decides, okay, we can drop these 2 segments, leave them to our competition, or just drop them because it's not that profitable for us, and focus on adding more customers of the segment that is more profitable to us. Perhaps the ones who are easier to onboard, perhaps the ones that are faster to make a buying decision, right? Everything that maximizes profits, those will be the segments that we will stick with.
Okay, and what about if several segments probably will have mostly similar characteristics? Can be the same ICP for 2 segments, let's say?
Sure. If they are similar enough, they just, they will blend into one.
Okay.
Because a segment is something that, a different segment is where you have a group of people that are, that's something that is unique about, unique, but at the same time common to all these people, how they interact with your product. It can be their demographic information, something that is different about them. And that's why they're in a different segment than everybody else. Any more questions?
Yeah, I will extend mine a little bit more. Yeah, and this profile, let's say, looking from a geographic standpoint, it can be expanded later on, let's say, to worldwide geographic.
Absolutely, but when we go into the different market, we will verify it again, because different market can be the same for our product, specific product, or it can be completely different. But we will do that before we enter the market, right? Before we launch and spend money in marketing campaigns in a different market and open up a new headquarters, we will do a market research on whether the same segments that we have in our local market are similar or will apply the same will have the same characteristics, the same needs, and how we will actually meet those needs in that market. We have 12 minutes left. We're definitely not starting with the market research. We will start that on Wednesday. But for homework, so the exercise that we did right now will be your homework. So to complete with the full picture. Again, we will keep refining it as we go, but it's a very good exercise to start with, because it's good for our business, but it's also good for our investor presentation, because investors will ask us as well, who are our customers and how big is the market, right? And we can only calculate how big the market is if we understand who our customers are, because then we can duplicate it. Right, so for Martynas knows there's a certain amount of graduates in Lithuania, or you're targeting probably 10 to 12, let's say, class students. We know how many students there are in Lithuania. We can know how many are there in next market we go. We can calculate the size of the market, right? So be specific about your customers.
Monica, can I ask you?
Yes.
Let's say we have numbers, we find official statistics. Let's say I talk about my case, that I found one article which says that 40% of students who go to schools, they have tutors one way or another. Okay, so let's assume we have 1,000 students in Lithuania, 40% have tutor. So it's 40,000 students. Cool. So it's our market. Let's say we calculate how much we can get if we grab all the market. But I'm just curious, so what? So it's the market size. So there are already ton of decisions of services and so on. So how does it help us? I mean, yeah, we see how big is that. We can try to imagine what happens if we take, let's say, 5% of that. Yeah, I'm curious about the next step when we have this number.
So the first goal is when we started talking this afternoon, we said the goal, our initial goal is to take 2.5 to 5% of the market. This will be our early adopters.
Okay.
Right? Okay. So this is our main goal. Then on Wednesday, when we meet, we'll talk about TAM and we'll talk about SAM.
Yeah.
The total addressable market and then specific market that we can reach, right? So your TAM will be all the students in Lithuania. The realistically addressable market will be the ones who already used the tutor, right? Then the SOM, which is directly the first ones that we can get, is usually 2.5 to 5%. But when we talk about investor presentations, what is expected is that we present that TAM, which is the total, the SAM, that is that realistically that we can address the total market. That's the potential of the market. Independently, there are so many different solutions out there. Because then we will present how different we are from other solutions and why they would use us. What is our angle? Are we bidding on price? Are we bidding on features? Are we say, what is it that will want them to move with us instead of another platform that's out there?
Okay.
But the size of the market will be very important because if you don't present it, they will ask you.
Yeah, I see. Okay. Yeah, so what you described, I thought the same way, but I was just curious, wanted to re-ask. Okay. Okay, thanks.
But we'll talk about that more in depth.
Okay.
Any other questions?
So yeah, I
the
have a
wall
question.
Still standing? Yes.
Yeah, so tomorrow we have one-on-one, and I would like to ask what we should be prepared for tomorrow. Should we already be, should we complete the homework and present it for you,
just questions.
or
Questions we can, questions that you have. We can specifically dive into your use case. We have half an hour to do that. So it was good that, I already know what you're doing, so you don't need to present, but prepare questions and we'll go into that. The homework is more, is for you. And also bring it on Wednesday if you have, more questions about it.
Okay, okay, thank you.
And I saw a lot of you already registered for one-on-one. So I'll talk to you in the next coming days. All right. There's no other questions. We can close 6 minutes early. Woohoo! All right. Thank you so much for sticking out with me today. I hope this was very eye-opening and insightful, and you found something useful, even though some of it was already known information to you. Keep working at it. I'm humbled to be here with you. You're one of the brightest minds, and I just humbled to be here.
Great to know. Thank you.
I'm rooting for you and your biggest fan.
Yay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Monica.
All right.
So that's it for today, right?
That's
Bye.
it for today.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.